Hello, everybody. Hello, my financial besties. How are we doing? So, it's a beautiful new week, and I just wanted to start with five oversold stocks to buy now. Now, some of them are not really so oversold, but they have pulled back a little bit, and that has created some opportunities for us to keep an eye on them. So today I'm going to be looking at these five oversold stocks so that we can keep them on our radar. And of course, the major conversations about these stocks are the things I do in my community. But I want to put them on your faces so that you can look at them and start doing your research now so that once you see them within the price you want, you can grab them. So let's take it away. Of course, you know that when it comes to the stock market, you have to do a lot of analysis, checking things and all of that, making sure that the stocks you're going to pick, you are doing some research. So if you can look at this screen, you can see this person is working on this stock, whichever stock it is, and making some calculations and all of that. So that is the kind of feel I want you to have when you are getting to know the stocks. So, welcome to my YouTube channel. Of course, my name is Julia. On my channel, I teach you how to make money, manage money, multiply your money, most importantly, from the US stock market. So, earning in dollars is super good. If you invested $50 and you make another $50, that's a lot. So, whereas there are so many opportunities, you can start small. So, please, I would appreciate if I can get 50 likes. Please watch this video to the end, subscribe, and of course, share with your co-investors who may want to watch this video. All right, so let's get into the chart so that we get to see these stocks. All right, I like to show you the stocks so that we're going to look at them together and see what they are up to. Let's take it away. So before I start calling out the stocks, the five stocks I have in mind, I just wanted to show us what an oversold stock looks like. Now, this is my RSI, which shows the oversold. So once it's below 30, it shows it's now oversold. Once it's above 70, that means it's high. So you can see right now this stock is actually overbought, sorry. And at this point, which was in April, it was really oversold. This stock used to be around 101, and this is Estee Lauder. So they are known for perfumes and clothing brands. This stock came down to 48. So this is the kind of stock that if you have known their fundamentals and you know how well they are, and you bought it when it dropped to 4, even if you bought at 50, right now it's at 89. This stock is heading back to 100, meaning that you have made like 80 to 95 to 90% of your money. So this is a clear example of an oversold stock that has picked up very well. Another one I'm going to talk about is AMD. I remember when AMD was dropping and we were buying from this place, not even here. This was when I marked it. This was 117. And after buying it at 117, this stock still dropped down to 76. I know some people may have sold out of panic, but I knew that this stock was going to do well. So what we did in the community was to buy more. We started buying more here, just to dollar cost average, so that we can bring down our cost to maybe around 100. Look at where we are today, 147. We hit 147 before it started to sell off. Of course, you know that when a stock goes up, it burns off, so it's normal. Comes back, takes off, comes back. So these are the two clear examples of how you can take advantage of good solid stocks that have dropped like this. So I'm going to pick the first one, which is Enphase. So Enphase is actually, let's go to the profile. Enphase is actually a global energy technology company. So when it comes to solar system and batteries, this is where they have a lot of experience. But recently, they've been having wasps. They've been getting beat down. So first of all, they reported their earnings and they dropped, tried to pick up, and then something happened here. So in the month of May, towards the end of May, Trump started bringing policies that will affect companies that have solar, increasing their tariff bills and everything. So this affected this company, and they tried to pick up, and alas, the actually the tariff started taking effect, and then this is the result. So this stock is trying to pick up, but this is a good company. Currently, they don't have debt. They are doing very well in terms of cash flow, which is something that is impressive. So if you have the patience, just like I told people then, if you have patience, pick AMD, and AMD will pay you in the long run. AMD is going to 200. Do you understand? So this is how this stock is. Right now is around 42. It actually dropped to 30, 31, around 31, and now it's picking up to 42. So you can see that it's having a lower low. This is a low. It tries to pick up, it never beats this low. So it may still drop again. It may still drop again. So if you can keep an eye on, if it comes around 35, you can grab it and take it up to 45 thereabout. So this is my number one stock that I want to talk about. The number two stock I want to talk about is XLE, which is an XLE is actually an ETF, but in the energy sector. So a lot of energy sector stocks are currently down. Let me pick it from here. Let me pick it from here. So a lot of energy stocks. So you can see it used to be 94 and then it dropped to 73. So those that grabbed it at 73 are actually seeing good profit now that it's heading to 89, and probably they'll sell it at 94, 95. So this is a good pickup. So this one is already on the way up, but it can still pull back to say 84 to 80, which is a good range, and then you can ride it up to 90. So this is a good example of an oversold stock that is on its way up. Okay, you can see it's moving on its way up. So this is the second one. I've talked about Enphase. I've talked about XLE. Then another one I'm going to talk about is Lululemon. I'm going to talk about Lululemon. I do hope I picked it out before now. Okay, let me pick the next one, Apple. So Apple, let me just show you. Apple has been, let me go to a higher time frame. So Apple has been doing very well. Look at this. This is one of the most valuable companies on earth. So from a high of 258, we came down to 171, which was amazing. And it's taking time to get up. So it's still at a very good price. Anything you buy between 213 down to 196. 196 is actually a sweet spot. And then you can ride it and cross your leg. This stock is going to 260. This stock is going to 260. So this is one that you have to own. You have to own this one. And then let me talk about the fourth one, ARM. I love ARM because they're in the artificial intelligence area. And whenever this stock pulls back, I like it because it has a crazy way of running up. Last time he touched 188, he fell to 97. And then he moved back to 183. And he came down to 75. And now see, he touched 166. And I think he's heading all the way down. I'm really hoping he's going to come back to um probably between 113 to 92. That would be a good place, and then you can take it up. So this one, I'm looking at it because I'm seeing this red candle. I'm hoping that the sell-off can come down, so that would be a good opportunity anyway for me. That would be a very good opportunity. And then the last one I'm going to talk about is Trip. Trip is one stock that is currently super oversold. Let me get to it. Trip. Let's pick it from here. Look at Trip. Trip used to be a $28 stock, and then they started having some issues. They were no longer making money because anything has to do with Trip, you know, placing your maybe getting to book maybe your Airbnb apartment, your trips, everything that has to do with bookings. Along the line, they were hoping to make money from affiliates and running ads, but that didn't pay off well, and they were losing money, and see their major drop, and they even came as low as $10. But recently they had this move up on Thursday. This move was beautiful, and now is approaching an important resistance point. So it may actually pull back a bit into the 14 range, which is a good place to get it. And secondly, it's forming like a cup and handle kind of a thing. Let me go back to the daily time frame so that we can look at it well. So it's forming like a cup. When it forms this handle, it can actually push up more, which is going to be a very good thing. So let me just show you some things that you need to see um, about Trip. So you can see that this stock surged 17% as at Thursday last week. This was Thursday, July 3rd. Okay, so this surged. Okay, this was published on July 3rd, but this happened on Thursday. So they closed. They actually had a 9% stake. So this company called Starboard Value bought a stake, a 9% stake in the company. So it's actually an online travel company. And this particular stake that they bought in actually gave it life. Let me put it that way. It actually gave it life. And I love the fact that they actually had that constructive engagement with their shareholders, and many people are now going to see some value because they are bringing a lot of things on board, which I think will give them some kind of benefits in future. So this is another information from Yahoo Finance talking about what just happened. So you can go up and check up online and read this information very well. That will help you to understand whether you need to, buy this stock or just let it be. But at the end of the day, I just want you to know that these stocks are going to be making people money if you have the right strategy and know what to do. So if you're still confused about how best to get into the stock market, when to buy, when to sell, when to take your profit, how to take your profit, you should consider joining our online community, our money community, the VIP community, because there every week I share my analysis. I share the stocks we'll be buying for the week, the ones we have bought already, we need to take profit, or the ones we need to sell off, depending on our plan, whether it is a short-term plan or a long-term plan. So if you want to see all those information, my analysis, the stocks we are picking, and how far we have been making money. I showed you some of the ones that made us money when I started this video. So please head over and click on the link in the description, make your payments, and I'll see you in the community. We are just starting a fresh batch, and this is a good time for you to join. So don't miss that opportunity. Join in and get yourself prepared to build wealth. This second half of the year, I want you to make some money, and I'm here to guide you. So I would love to see you in my community. It just costs 50,000 naira, which can help you a lot. So come over and let's make money together.